understand why there aren't more libertarians in America. I think the average American is basically a libertarian. They're fiscally conservative, socially liberal. Stay out of my pocketbook and out of my private life. I wrote a whole book about it. You can feel free to buy it. Why do you think that this message isn't more pervasive across either of the parties?
I think it is. I think my voice is representative of the fastest growing segment of American politics today, and that's just that. The notion of being fiscally responsible, socially accepting, that's speaking with a broad brushstroke. So I'm the only candidate that doesn't want to bomb Iran. Let's get out of Afghanistan tomorrow.
But you only have 1%. But you only have 1%. I mean, you could be the fastest growing because you're working off a very small base.
Well, that might be the case, but I'm doing what I can do, and I think that that's very important in this equation, and I'm willing to bet that that there will be momentum on election day. Look, let's reform our tax system. Let's abolish the IRS. Let's abolish income tax, corporate tax. Let's balance the federal budget tomorrow. End the wars, stop the spending. Where is this being represented by either of the two old parties?
At this point, what's expected to be a tight race, Governor, do you worry at all that you will steal some votes away from Mitt Romney that would otherwise go his way?
No, I think, Bill, it's been put to the test in 4 different states. And by the way, those 4 states, the polling was somewhere north of 5 and 6%. But in the 4 states where it was put to the test, in 2 states I take more votes away from Obama. In 2 states I take more votes away from Romney. People really do care about civil liberties. I think people really recognize that we are on a course of fiscal disaster unless something gets done, and I am proposing to balance the federal budget in the year 2013, which would be a 43% reduction in federal spending that if we don't do, you know, you all talk about it all the time. I'm in the camp that believes we're going to suffer a monetary collapse if we don't get this under control, and nobody's talking about control. Republicans are going to balance the budget in 28 years, and that's contingent upon growth occurring also. I don't know. I don't think it addresses the problems.
I love your focus on the fiscal issues, but when I'm sitting around with libertarian friends, and I do have them, we do a game. How libertarian are you? Tell me, if you were judging Lance Armstrong today, would you have punished him for what he did or didn't do?
Well, yes. You know, there are rules, and of course, Lance has never admitted guilt. He hasn't been proven to be guilty in all the drug tests.
You know the spirit of the question. All these things about athletes taking performance-enhancing drugs, should they be allowed to?
No, because it's part of the rules, and there are. Michelle, cycling happens to be one of my passions. There are all sorts of participants in the Tour de France that don't take drugs. One of the real issues right now is who does the Tour de France title get given to, and you know, they're talking about dropping down to 15th place. In the year 2010, 19 of the top 20 cyclists in the Tour de France have been disqualified because of illegal drug use. So it's the rules, and everybody needs to conform with those rules. and taking these performance-enhancing
You have
drugs.
just made
really,
Bill Griffin's day. He is so happy.
Governor, I made that very argument to her earlier, but I'm glad you came on my side on that one. Thank you for joining us. It was a real pleasure having you with us today, sir.
Great being a thrill for me. Thank you.
You bet. Gary Johnson, who's the Libertarian candidate for president.